Hey guys, happy Thursday. Good to see you joining us today. We are so thankful for you. We've been talking about purpose, that we created for a purpose, with the purpose, why we exist. But then we kind of shifted over into worship. And so let's kind of dig down in that, drill down a little bit more about that worship and the importance of why we need to surrender, our lives to God on a daily basis. Hebrews 12 says it like this in the Message paraphrase. Do you see what we've got? An unshakable kingdom. And do you see how thankful we must be? Not only thankful, but brimming with worship, deeply reverent before God. And the New Living Translation says, since we are receiving a kingdom that is unshakable, let us be thankful and please God by worshiping him with holy fear and awe. And I believe we really got to get a better understanding of what worship is. Like I said, worship is not just in the church service. It's not lifting up our hands. It's not just saying words. No, worship really encompasses every aspect, of our lives. We can worship God when we're shopping. Our work is meant to be worship. That's what it was for Adam, and that's really what I believe it should be, be for us. And I don't believe God has never wanted us to seclude worship and just leave it at church. No, we need to worship God when we're driving. We need to worship God when we're even, at home. We need to worship God when we're out having fun. We need to be everything. We need to be worshipful because we're inviting God in to every area, of our lives. So understand this, that the heart of worship is surrender. And we defined it yesterday as this. It means to yield to the power of another, to yield or to give up, to yield to any influence, passion, or power. And we have to get to this place in our spiritual walk with God when we just learn to obey God because we love God, which is really the foundation of worship. And this really causes us to surrender our hearts on a daily or consistent basis to God, because many times when we hear the word surrender, it invokes unpleasant images. We think surrender, we think of, defeat, we think of yielding to a stronger opponent. And we've been taught to, you never give up, but and win at every cost. So we do not hear much about surrendering in a positive light. And so we want to hear about winning and succeeding and overcoming and conquering, as opposed to what? Yielding and submitting and obeying. And so surrendering, again, is really the heartbeat or at the heart of worship, and is the natural response to God's amazing love and mercy. And we must learn to give ourselves over to God, again, not out of duty, but out of love. And so to the expression of worship, like we said earlier, is way past music. Just like a diamond is multifaceted, worship is multifaceted, and there are many sides to worship. Worship is expressing, listen, our love to God for who he is, what he said, and what he's doing. Let me say that again. Worship is expressed by love to God for who he is, what he said, and what he's doing. Praying, singing, testifying, giving, trusting, obeying his word. All those are aspects of worship. So true worship brings God pleasure, and God is the focus and the center of our worship, and not man. I mean, even in the Bible, you see when an angel shows up, he always told the person, don't bow down. We don't bow down or worship angels. We only worship God and God alone. Romans 12, as we begin to wrap this up, says like this. And so, dear brothers and sisters, I plead with you to give your bodies to God, because all of us, for all he's done for you, he says, let them be a living and holy sacrifice, the kind he will find, acceptable. This is truly the way to worship him. Don't copy the behavior and customs of this world, but let God transform you into a new person by changing the way you think. Then you will learn to know God's will for you, which is good and pleasing and perfect. So an act of personal surrender has many names. consecration, making Jesus Lord, dying to self. It does not matter what we call it. We just need to do it. Come on, let's worship God today. Let's surrender our hearts to God today. Let's surrender our lives today afresh and anew. Come on back on Friday as we wrap up this series this week. Love you guys. See you tomorrow. Enjoy your Thursday.